All right. Hey, good afternoon, guys. It's KB5RCY Big Boy on a little less hot day here in Northeast Texas. Well, first thing I want to do is welcome a friend of mine to ham radio. And let's get the proper introduction here for somebody. Come here, Cat. Come here, Indy. Indy, you're being a turd now. Come here. Sorry about that. She just being pretty much a butthead this evening. This old ham radio cat. Got an Air Force buddy of mine, Robert. Got his ticket. It's KJ5RCY over in Louisiana. Robert's a super good guy. Me and him was in the Red Horse together. In fact, ended my career working with him in operations. He'll be a good asset in ham radio, and I'm tickled to have him on board. He's already working on his general. Robert, I got you a manual, ARRL ham. Well, here's another cat. Here's Ollie. Well, I got your manual, some antennas I'll be bringing you over, and I'll see you at Shreveport Ham Fest, buddy. Got one quick story on this feller. After I made E7 and over operations, he would go, when we did a deployment from the base, we had to practice these deployments where we'd load aircraft, and I would run communications in the UDC or Unit Deployment Center, and Robert would sit there with me to do the logging and give me a break on the radio if I needed to make a latrine run, or I had to go out to checkpoint, something which I had to do every once in a while. And on this day, we had a lock-in, 12-hour shift. They're going to bring us box lunches, but they told us the day before, if y'all want to bring you a little cooler or some snacks with you, you're free to, but you're not going to be able to leave today. So, I don't know if we got there at 5 in the morning or 6. I can't remember. I think let's say 6. I walk in there. I already said, here comes Robert in with one of these lunch boxes about 3 times too big a normal lunch box. I didn't think nothing about it. He stowed it under the desk, got him snack out. But I got to noticing before the day was out, I never saw him. He had a pen in hand, a snack in hand. He eat for 12 straight hours in the UDC. I never have let him live that down. Robert, you knew I was going to tell that story. I could tell some more, but I won't tell any of the rest of them. But, buddy, glad to see you in ham radio. I think you're going to enjoy it. Well, I got a subject we're going to talk about today. And I see a lot of other YouTubers talking about 5.2 being unused and repeaters being unused, and I agree with that. And I know before I get into this, my buddy Kent's over there talking to me on he sees this video and said, "Big boy, you don't get on repeaters." That's true. Not much. I monitor in my shack 146.54. That's the hammerhead simplex frequency. If I'm going to a club meeting, I'm on the club repeater. Well, I'm going to Texarkana or McCurtain County. If I'm in Texarkana on the road around a lot, I'll usually listen to a Texarkana repeater, and I'll talk to some people while I'm down there. But I've got on the window of my truck monitoring 146.52, and when I'm on the road, that's what I listen to. And if anybody wants to talk to me, the radio's on. They got my call sign on my license plates, and I'll talk to them. The reason I do that is having spent over a year driving to Azle and back once a month and hitting 15 repeaters, IDing on every repeater between here and Azle, and having less than 5 conversations in a year. I just don't monitor repeaters much. I'll use them, but I don't monitor them much. Which brings us to this little episode I'm going to talk about, because this is something that needs to stop. People are mad to want to correct people if they get on a repeater and make a mistake. You get on a repeater and call CQ, I guarantee you somebody's going to come back on there to tell you what you're doing wrong. You make a mistake, I guarantee you they're going to come out of the woodwork. But I got to tell this story generic, because I was asked not to mention any names, locations, or times on this story. But this did happen. You know, a lot of hams get their wives in the ham radio, and I've talked to lots of women on radio. Not a whole lot, but I have talked to a lot of POTUS operators that were ladies on ham radio, and that's great. I'm for anybody getting their ham radio license. But a lot of guys want their wives to have a ham radio, at least a tech ticket, where they can put a 2 meter in their car when they're traveling. That's a good way for them to get help or information. They come up on a repeater while they're traveling, and and if they have car trouble or something, it's probably a quicker way to get help. Even though nowadays with cell phones and AAA and all that, it's still a good backup, especially for road conditions, which is kind of the purpose of this story. This lady got on a major highway and got hung up in a major traffic jam. I don't know if it was a wreck or road construction. She tuned up a local repeater, 4 guys on there having a conversation. She's full quiet, the repeaters, there's no doubt she could hit the repeater. She IDs break in. All 4 of these guys shut up immediately. None of them would come back to her. For any reason, none of them would answer her. Said she listened there about 5 minutes and nobody would answer her, and then all of a sudden they just started talking again. Now that's kind of rude, don't you think? You hear a strange person come up on a repeater, and especially a lady, you would think you would answer it. Only suggestion I could have made, might make to her now, this is kind of Monday morning quarterbacking it and not making any excuse for those guys not coming back to her. But she might have added, this is so-and-so, I'm looking for road information. Something to that effect, so they would, they might have known she really might have needed some help. But still, you hear a strange call come up on your repeater and you ignore it? I thought we were supposed to be promoting this hobby. This ain't the first time I've had this told to me, and I've talked about this in several videos back. One of my listeners on the East Coast said that their club repeater is so territorial, if they have somebody come driving through and they ID on it, they all jump on it. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? All that. And then they just start talking over the guy and won't let him talk no more till he gets off the repeater, and then they shut up. It's like they don't want anybody on their repeater. Yes, people, your repeater, unless you've got it closed, here's the best remedy for that. If you don't want to talk to anybody but your little core group of hams, close your repeater. Real simple. Close your repeater. Mark it as closed in repeater book, change the PL tone, only give the PL tone to the select few that you want to talk on it. And that way you don't have to worry about somebody else checking in on your repeater. That way you don't get griped at for being sad hams, this is a sad ham incident in my opinion. But if you're not going to close your repeater and you got it open, and especially if you're a club member and a strange call comes up, answer them. It's just being polite. Hey, I never heard you on here before. How you doing? We got a club meeting on such date. If you're around, welcome to come to it. Just little chit chat and go on. That's all it takes. A lot of ladies get intimidated when they get on the radio and something like that, and they don't answer them. That lady needed help. Like I said, if she had put on their road information, they might have answered, but I don't know if they would or not. I don't know if these hams are still living in their mom and dad's basement and they never talk to a woman and it scared them to have to talk to a woman or what. But that ain't promoting this hobby, and that ain't helping this hobby. That will make somebody decide to sell their gear and not be a part of this hobby. That kind of treatment to people on a repeater. Okay? That's if these clubs put these repeaters up for people to use them. And here I am again telling y'all I don't use them much, but I don't. But if I'm on the road and I'm monitoring the repeater and I hear somebody come up like that, I'm probably going to answer them. Especially if they just say mobile or something like that, where if they're not, I try not to break into a conversation that 2 people are having, even on HF. If I'm hearing unless I'm hearing a net that'll let you check in, something very rarely. If I hear somebody two guys just chit-chatting on HF, I've worked all the states, I've worked all the countries, I very rarely will break into that. I'll try to call CQ and get an answer, get up, know the band is open or something, but I don't break into that. But repeaters are put up to be used, especially for emergency use, road conditions, whatever. And like I said, a lot of guys got their wives licensed so they would be able to get on a ham repeater and get help if they needed it. And you hear a strange lady come up on your repeater and you don't answer them, that's rude, that's bad ham behavior, and it's just not helping things the way this hobby gets, especially with social media and everything else with it. So think about that. And I don't understand some clubs thinking on things like that, but if you don't want anybody strange on your repeater, close it. Just change PL tone, take it off repeater book, and nobody will bother you. But if it's an open repeater and you hear a strange call come up, answer them. It's real simple. Also, it's good to do that because a while back, local club caught a bootlegger on there, and they got him off the air for using a strange call sign. They was able to figure out the guy wasn't licensed and politely got him off the air without a big bunch of problems. But to not answer, especially a lady on the air, that's just that's rude. All right, that's just really rude. And that does not put us in a good look as ham radio operators. All right, well, I guess I beat that dead horse to death enough. Guys, I plan to be in Shreveport in a couple of weeks. I know I will be there on Saturday. I may be there Friday. Pam and I hadn't decided yet for sure if we're going on Friday or not. A lot depends on if Kent and Julia set up over there on Friday. We'll probably go over and help them set up, but this kind of playing it by ear at this point. I will be at Mena. I'm assuming they're having the Mena Ham Fest because I have yet to see any advertisement on it. But I am, hey, Ollie, you gonna get back up here? You gonna have ham radio cat jealous? You want me to get a sticker with a yellow cat on there now? Well, I plan to be at Mena, and I will be at Atlanta in October. So hope to see y'all at them Ham Fest. MRG Labs, check out Dan Major's equipment, radio, and amp repair in Farmerville, Texas. His slide's always the first one you'll see at the end of the video. Broken Circuit Ranch, Circle 6 Mail Drop, and Door Planner links are in the description of my channel on YouTube. Be sure and check them out. Got several other club events we'll be posting and some ham fests. Also, remember the Freedom Link group. I'm going to try to put that Venmo link back in the description of this video for ticket sales for the generator they're going to give away in Shreveport and the $9.91 they're going to give away at the Atlanta Ham Fest in October. Guys, I appreciate all your support. We're like at 2980. It hadn't updated on the Shack Gadget yet. 2380. But it'll update here pretty soon on there. We'll do a giveaway here about 2,500. All right, guys, I appreciate all your support. Let me make sure this thing's going to turn off. And cats are showing up in here today for some reason. It's KB5MIQ Big Boy 73.